We keep talking about the comeback of Tony Blair, don't we? But it always feels like he's never really gone away.
Well, that's absolutely right. And I think he's been clear he can never be Prime Minister again. He'll never come back to Parliament. But what distinguishes him from other ex-PMs and the awkward life they have to lead is his direct engagement with party politics. And if you look at the others briefly, David Cameron, dementia research, Gordon Brown, women and girls being abducted in parts of Africa. They've gone for non-party political causes. Gordon Brown also COVAX, a vaccine distribution effort. Tony Blair's done the opposite. He's gone right into the guts of the Labour Party, quite rightly, in my view, outspoken on things like anti-Semitism under Jeremy Corbyn when the Labour Party really lost its way. I think he brought out some very good research to his think tank at the start of the pandemic on things like vaccine, looking at other countries. But now the Labour Party is perhaps more in the centre ground with a leader that might get some Blairite approval. And he's launching this conference, which is controversial to say the least. And that's not because it's generating ideas. You have to do that in opposition because of the guest list.
Well, who's on that guest list?
So we've got figures from the left. We've got Ruth Davidson, who was a Tory leader in the devolved parliament in Scotland, as you know, and she's a big Boris critic and was seen as being a Remainer. Then David Gauke was a Tory minister under Cameron who was kicked out of the Tory party in Parliament when Boris Johnson had his purge of the Remainers. But that in itself will get perhaps Tony Blair's biggest critics worried. But the thing that will really, I think, set hairs running is if the French president comes, as has been suggested, as a star speaker. And the reason for that is not because he's left-wing or right-wing or because he's French president, but because he left his own party and started a new political party.
Isn't that the point then, Peter? How is this helping Keir Starmer, which, Tony Blair has publicly backed, including many Blairites, Peter Mandelson apparently advising him? How does that help when you, as you say, seem to be suggesting that actually Tony Blair wants to leave behind the Labour Party and set up this centrist movement?
Well, for the record, I don't think Tony Blair does want to lead the Labour Party. I don't think he will form a new party. He's still a Labour Party member and appeared in that party political broadcast fairly recently for Keir Starmer. But why are we talking about this then? It's because there are already a lot of conferences for exactly this type of thing. There's Progress, which is the Blairite group in the Labour Party, and there's Class at the other end of the spectrum, which is a think tank funded by trade unions like Unite. There's a whole spectrum of think tanks and pressure groups on the left who are affiliated or supportive to the Labour Party. What's get tongues wagging is that Tony Blair's decided to do something completely different with former frontline Tory politicians. So I don't think there'll be a new party at all. But this is what I think will probably unsettle some of the front bench in Parliament who are very supportive of Keir Starmer of just what exactly is going on.